come now to Double Jeopardy. The board's all set up. Let's find out what categories await our contestants. First, a look at symbols. Then it's January in recent history. Europe a go-go. From there, pop culture goes to Mars. We have opera, and last but not least, these are words found between last and least in the dictionary. Linda, you start the round.
Last but not least for 1600.
It's the L in the SCLC, the Atlanta-based agency co-created by Martin Luther King Jr. Troy.
What's leadership?
Yes.
Opera for 2000, please.
His score for Der Rosenkavalier includes several Viennese waltzes. Joe.
Who's Wagner?
No. Troy.
Who is Strauss?
More specifically?
Who is Johann Strauss?
No.
Okay.
Linda? We needed Richard Strauss, unfortunately. Back to you, Troy.
Opera 1600, please.
Not a comic opera. It has a name meaning the clowns. Joe.
Was Pagliacci.
Yes.
Pop culture goes to Mars 1200.
Jack Nicholson was the president and Glenn Close the first lady in this 1996 Tim Burton film. Troy.
What's Mars Attacks?
Right.
Opera 1200, please.
The answer there is a daily double.
$6,000, please.
All right, big wager on opera. Here's your clue. The Libertine Punished is part of the full title of this Mozart opera.
What is Don Giovanni?
Yes, he's the Libertine in question. You have 17,200.
Europe for 1200, please.
Northern Ireland is also known by this six-letter name, referring to a people that once lived there. Troy.
What is Ulster?
Yes.
Europe for 16, please.
This isolated region on the Peloponnese became synonymous with a rural paradise to Greeks and Romans alike. You're looking at Arcadia. Back to you, Troy.
Europe 2000, please.
Cernagora is what locals call this peak-strewn Balkan country, whose name refers to one of those peaks. Troy.
What's Montenegro?
Good for 2,000.
January for 2000, please.
In 2009, Prime Minister Geir Harda resigned after the collapse of this European island nation's banking system. Troy.
What's Iceland?
Yes.
January for 16, please.
A false... emergency alert that a missile was headed for this U.S. state caused panic there in January 2018. Linda.
What's Hawaii?
Right.
January 1200.
The answer there is the other daily double. You just moved into second place, Linda, and you can do a lot better here.
4100.
Betting it almost all. Here's your clue. In January in recent history, in his 2002 State of the Union address, George W. Bush used axis of evil to describe Iran, Iraq, and this non-Mideast country.
What is North Korea?
That is correct. You have $8,300.
A look at symbols 400.
If the light here appears on your dashboard, it's time to check this. Linda.
What's the oil?
Yes.
A look at symbols 800.
The symbol here means a product was certified this by the Orthodox Union. Troy.
What's kosher?
Good.
Pop culture 16, please.
Here is this co-founder and lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars. He's quite an accomplished actor as well. Joe.
Is Jared Leto.
Yes.
Pop culture 2000.
We saw this actress have the guns of Bonnie Parker and, in a 1978 thriller, the eyes of Laura Mars. Troy.
Who's Faye Dunaway?
Right.
Last for 2000, please.
The Industrial Revolution saw this machine tool used for shaping wood turn its attention to metals. Troy.
What's a lathe?
Yes, it is.
Last for 12, please.
This plant of the mint family is used to make potpourri and herbal medicines. Troy.
What's laurel?
No. Joe or Linda? That would be lavender. Back to you, Troy.
Symbols 1200, please.
It's the five-letter Spanish-derived name of the symbol here over the N. Troy.
What's a tilde?
Can you repeat that?
Tilde?
Tilde, yes, for the D.
1600, please. Symbols.
Get connected with the symbol for this technology standard. Troy.
What's a USB?
Right.
2000 symbols.
On a floor plan, you're looking at this kind of door that slides into the wall and basically vanishes when it's open. Joe.
What's a pocket door?
Yes, good for 2,000.
Europe 800.
Russia and Lithuania's Curonian Lagoon is separated from this sea by the Curonian Spit, seen here. Troy.
What's Baltic?
Yes.
January 800, please.
At the 2007 Macworld Conference in San Francisco, Steve Jobs introduced this product. Troy.
What's the iPhone?
Yes.
Opera 800, please.
The title character of this Bizet opera works at a cigarette factory. Troy.
What's Carmen?
Right.
Pop culture 800, please.
With the aid of a Kickstarter campaign, Kristen Bell was back on the case as this character in a 2014 feature. Troy.
Who is Veronica Mars?
You got it.
January 400, please.
After decades as a member, in January 2020, the UK ceased its membership in this organization. Linda.
What's the EU?
You got it.
Last but not least, 400.
This type of kid spends part of the day after school unsupervised because the parents aren't home. Linda.
What's a latchkey?
Yes.
Last but not least, 800.
Meaning to the side, it's also a type of football pass. Linda.
What's lateral?
Right.
Europe 400.
Bounded by 4 mountain ranges, the Bohemian Massif is mostly in this country. Troy.
What's the Czech Republic?
Good.
Pop culture 400, please.
Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell, sang Elton John in this hit. Troy.
What's Rocket Man?
That's right.
Last one.
Final clue in opera. This Puccini opera is set in a garret apartment in Paris's Latin Quarter. Joe.
Was La Boheme?
Correct. Taking you to $7,400. Good scores all, but an impressive game from our champion, Troy Meyer. Let's find out what category you'll be dealing with in Final Jeopardy today. Foreign-born authors. While they make their wagers, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. For Final Jeopardy, foreign-born authors is the category today. And here's the clue. In the 1950s, the New York Times said this author is writing about all lust, and his lecherous narrator is all of us. 30 seconds. Good luck. We'll begin with Joe in Kalinga, who had $7,400. Which author did you write down? Joe, who is Nabokov? That's correct. A reference to Humbert Humbert, the creep who narrates Lolita. So you're going to add to your $7,400. You had $5,000. You now have $12,400. Linda Napokoski was in second place. Did she know it was Nabokov? She's correct. And she will add 4,501 for 14,801. Second place right now. Troy Meyer had a big lead, $32,800 in his fourth game. Did he come up with Nabokov? He did. He could have wagered quite a bit. Do we have a bigger payoff than this even? $7,200. Wow, an even $40,000. And he's a six-figure winner, a four-day total of $137,600. He'll be back for Game 5 tomorrow. That would seal his Tournament of Champions status. Don't miss it.
Our champion, Troy Meyer, has some impressive friends cheering him on. Find out who